All right. Hey guys, welcome to the webinar this afternoon. We're excited to have you join us. I'm particularly excited because I'm going to have a little bit of help on this webinar today. So as you can see from the title there, across the bottom of the screen, we're excited to announce that LifeVantage, a publicly traded company, is getting ready to expand into Germany. And so we're going to go ahead and kick things off here just so that we're not strangers. My name is Gary Stern. I'm an elite distributor with our company based out of Melbourne, Florida. It's on the East Coast near Cape Canaveral and Cocoa Beach. My background historically was I was a physical therapist for about 6 years, or physio, as they say in Europe, and then also a pharmaceutical rep. Worked for a large European company, in fact, based out of the UK named GlaxoSmithKline. And I was with them for about 13 years. So that's my professional background. We'll kind of kick in later on how I got involved more with this company. But let's just say that I found this about 6 years ago. And as of 4.5 years ago, this has become my primary profession over the last 4.5 years. So I'm excited to share some of the things that we've learned over that time and to let you know what's coming to Germany. I'm married. I've been married for 17 years now. I have a 12-year-old son and love surfing, cycling, just really being active and being outside. So at least that way we're not strangers. Let me go ahead and kick into the presentation. What we're going to talk about today or tonight, and I guess I should have started off with Guten Abend. Always try to practice a little bit of German. I'm not very good. That's why I have a friend on the line with me today. But then we're going to talk about nutrigenomics. And what nutrigenomics is, as you see there, is it's the study of how what we eat, our nutrition and naturally occurring compounds, how those can actually affect our genes or genetic expression. It's an exciting new topic, and it's coming to you. It's coming to Germany literally starting in just a few weeks. So we're going to kick it off with this. We're going to talk about what the problem is. And this is one of the main problems that plagues all of us right now as humans, not just in the US or in Germany, but all over the world. And that's oxidative stress. So the easiest way to kind of understand what oxidative stress is it's premature aging, essentially. Think about an apple, and like the picture shows there, if an apple sat on a counter, it could sit there for a week. And it wouldn't necessarily go bad, right? It would sit there for a week, it'd be fine. But the minute you cut it in half, it starts to deteriorate because the air, just like as humans, the air that we breathe, that air mixes with the inside flesh of the apple and causes it to start to turn brown and start to deteriorate and disintegrate and age prematurely, right? Accelerating that aging process. And that same thing happens in our cells as they're attacked by free radicals. Free radicals are caused by the air that we breathe, the food that we eat, the toxins, all kinds of different things that we're going to talk about. But you need to know this particular part right here because it plays a huge factor in what we're going to talk about. Because let's face it, people are living longer, but people are also developing diseases of aging at a higher rate than they ever have. And so with all these other products that are out there on the market, with all these things, all these healthy foods that people are suggested to eat, and all these things, natural supplements or even unnatural medications, all these things that people are being told to take, why are the diseases of aging still increasing? And we're going to go into that here in a second. But before we do, I want to introduce a colleague of mine, Analena Stern. Analena, I met her over the last few months. She's an amazing individual she lives in Fort Lauderdale now, but as you're going to hear from her accent, she's originally from Germany. I'll let her share that part of her story, but she has a master's degree in finance, works for a huge corporation, decided she wanted to take literally not only her life into her own hands, but the lives of others and help give back and coach others as far as a healthier lifestyle is concerned. And so that's how she came to us. She's an amazing individual. I'm excited to kind of turn the presentation over to her, and she's going to share a little bit with you guys now. So Analena, go ahead.
Yes, welcome everybody. Thank you, Gary. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much. Yeah, I'm very excited to be part of this today because as Gary was saying, I am I work in a corporation and everything, but I have a passion for health. And I actually coach people how to have a healthy lifestyle and how to change their habits. And I found out about Protandim. I got incredible results for myself. And I'm a very healthy individual, but I sleep much better. I feel way less stressed. And these are very big factors for me. And the way I see it is that the healthcare industry nowadays, they focus very much on disease and the treatment with chemical drugs, but nobody really talks about prevention and really what nature may have to offer to us. So that's why I believe Protandim, and we will talk more about what Protandim is and what the ingredients are. So I believe that LifeVantage and the flagship product that they have, which is called Protandim, is a very unique product that actually focuses on prevention. And I really believe that in correlation with a healthy lifestyle, that this product can be a true game changer. And frankly, I have never been a big fan of multi-level marketing, but LifeVantage really caught my attention because I wanted to know more about it. They didn't come to me and wanted to try to sell me something. Like, I heard about it. I thought it was super interesting. It was about something natural. And since helping others and sharing my knowledge about a really healthy lifestyle is my passion. So I decided to join LifeVantage, and then it happened that they were actually going to get into the German market, which was kind of a coincidence. So I think it was meant to happen. And I really love the product myself, and I truly wish that anybody will know about it and can make the decision for him or herself if they want to take it. And I really just want to share with the world. And I'm really, really excited that my home country, Germany, is next in line. So that's why we're here today, to let you know about that.
Awesome, Analena. And I know you wanted to share a little bit on this screen as well.
Yes. Yeah, Gary, you already spoke about the oxidative stress a little bit with the apple. So we really live in this world, and it's an amazing and beautiful world. However, there's a lot of pollution going on. The water is very contaminated nowadays. We live in a very stressful environment. Many people have many jobs, family, kids, many things going on. So all the diseases are really, they're spiking up, and especially in America where we live, we're kind of eradicating ourselves if we're going this trend. It's going very bad with cancer, obesity, diabetes. And the oxidative stress is really, it's harming the body because it's leading to inflammation, disease, all the dysfunctions in our body. And the product that LifeVantage has developed by a very famous scientist, which we will also talk more about it actually activates something in our body which is called the NRF2. And that helps your body to make more enzymes like it usually does in a natural way. So basically, instead of taking tons of supplements and antioxidants to help our body be balanced and be healthy, to fight off all these free radicals and the oxidative stress that we are exposed to. So instead of taking all these tons of supplements, the product Protandim that LifeVantage offers can actually help your body make its own antioxidants. So it's kind of turning on its own survival genes and enzymes in our bodies. And that's a really revolutionary way, I think. And especially because it's by taking an all natural product. And again, we will share more with you what this product actually contains, what the ingredients are.
And Analena, before we move ahead, do you want to share a little bit of that in German, just for those folks that we have on the line that maybe that's their primary language? I mean, a summary of, again, the difference between taking and making and oxidative stress.
Yes. Ja, also in der Welt, in der wir heute leben, ist unglaublich viel Umweltverschmutzung. Wir haben sehr viel Stress. Obwohl wir länger leben, wir werden häufiger krank. Und das Produkt Protandim hilft eben unserem Körper, selber Antioxidantien herzustellen, um unseren Körper vor den ganzen freien Radikalen, denen wir ausgesetzt sind, uns zu schützen. Und eben die Antioxidantien selber herstellt und somit der vorbeugend, also unserem Körper hilft, Krankheiten vorzubeugen. Und das Produkt besteht aus 5 Kräutern. Wir werden da noch mehr drüber reden. Aber es ist auf jeden Fall ein unglaublich tolles Produkt, was dem Körper eben hilft, sich selbst vor den ganzen freien Radikalen zu schützen. That was my German part.
I was just pausing. I wasn't sure. Awesome. 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 Thank you for sharing that. And and we're going to bounce this back and forth with you all. So, you know, again, Analena is an expert already in this area. And the more she's learned about Protandim, the more, number one, the more excited she gets, obviously, and the more valuable it is to us at LifeVantage opening up Germany with somebody who's already in the know. This is the research that's already been done. This slide's actually now about 2 months old. I need to update it because the research that's being done is being done that rapidly. But what you can see here, this is the National Library of Medicine here in the United States. It's called pubmed.gov. It's where doctors, nurses, life coaches, where physical therapists, physios, where we all go to do our research. This is where all of the collective peer-reviewed research is. And you can see that the number of studies have been on the increase with oxidative stress dramatically in just the last like 15 years or so. When I looked at this, for instance, 6 years ago, there were only 70,000 studies on oxidative stress. There's now close to 170,000 and growing at a rate of 15 to 20,000 studies per year. It's a very, very heavily researched area in science right now. And then as Analena was talking about, there's a pathway in the body that when activated and you turn it on, it actually activates your genes at the genetic level. That's where the nutrigenomics comes into play. That activates your genes to produce more of these survival enzymes like antioxidant and anti-inflammatory enzymes. The pathway is the NRF2 pathway. And you can see here, the research in that area, astronomical. I mean, 20 years ago, there were 3 studies done the whole year, 3 studies for an entire year. 10 years ago, there were a little over 100. Last year, there were 1,500 studies. And this year, it's on track to be over 2,000 studies just in this one area alone. Very, very hotbed of research. So here's what Analena was alluding to before. Protandim and oxidative stress. What makes Protandim different? It's an NRF2 activator. So as she was saying, instead of taking handfuls and handfuls of antioxidants that are only going to work 1-to-1 to remove the damaging free radicals that affect our bodies, why not take something like Protandim that's a blend of 5 herbs that have an 18-fold increase at activating the body to take care of itself. That blend of herbs will remove 1 to 1 million of those free radicals every second, every minute, every hour. And it's what your body does naturally. So you're not adding something to the body that's unnatural or at astronomical levels that could be toxic, like some of these other supplements that are on the market. Instead of you're activating your body to make more of what it does naturally. What does that mean? It means that you're going to lower your oxidative stress levels, your cellular aging, your free radical damage, whatever term you want to give it, you're going to lower that by 40% in 30 days. And you don't have to take our word for it. The great thing, and Analena alluded to that in her short presentation earlier, the research is there. It's the more she learned about it, she said, the more she picked up on that the research was there. The more I learned about it, ABC, a large network here in the United States, did an investigative news report on Protandim. There's the link where you can see it. I'm going to actually show it in a little bit. Also, there's 23 peer-reviewed science-based studies that have been done by major universities here in the United States that have proven that Protandim does exactly what it's supposed to do. In fact, one of them was sponsored by the American Heart Association. So very big studies, all available on the National Library of Medicine. There's the address, pubmed.gov, so you can go and see the data for yourself, the research for yourself. So what's in Protandim. And I'm going to do this briefly in English, and then I'm going to flip it over to Analena. She's going to talk a little bit about the ingredients in Europe. But the 5 key ingredients are green tea, bacopa, milk thistle, turmeric, and ashwagandha. And individually, they each have their own merits, right? Green tea has been a powerful antioxidant used for centuries. Bacopa used for memory, milk thistle to cleanse the liver, turmeric as an anti-inflammatory, and ashwagandha for energy. But we're not using these ingredients for their individual merits in Protandim. It's that specific blend that has that 18-fold increase at activating NRF2. Once NRF2 is activated, it turns on the body at the genetic level. The body does the rest with its own enzymes. So I'm going to flip it back over to Analena. They did make one change to the formulation in Europe. It's bioequivalent to the US formulation, but I'm going to let Analena share some of that with you.
All right, thank you, Gary. Yes, like Gary was saying, there's one ingredient that's different, and that's due to the fact that ashwagandha is the controlled substance in Europe, so they substituted with black pepper. But it was, again, tested, so they did research on it, clinical research, and they found that with black pepper, it has the exact same effect on the body as it has with the US formulation. And I will talk now about the ingredients in German, since Gary did that already. Der erste Inhaltsstoff ist grüner Tee. Grüner Tee alleine hat antibakterielle Effekte und beinhaltet Flavonide, das sind Antioxidantien. Und es wird gesagt, dass sie das Immunsystem stärken, sowie die Risiken für Herz- und Kreislauferkrankungen senken. Dann haben wir Bacopa, was im Deutschen das kleine Fettblatt heißt. Und das kleine Fettblatt, es wird gesagt, hat positive Wirkungen auf unser Denk- und Lernvermögen. Als nächstes die Mariendistel. Die Mariendistel wird sehr häufig in der homöopathischen Medizin verwendet, da sie vorteilhaft auf die Entgiftung, sich auf die Entgiftung der Leber auswirkt. Als nächstes Kurkumin, sehr, sehr bekannt heutzutage, aufgrund der entzündungshemmenden Eigenschaften. Und letztlich der schwarze Pfeffer, der auch entzündungshemmende sowie immunstärkende Wirkung aufgrund des Inhaltsstoffes Piperin hat. Und wie Gary schon gesagt hat, jeder Inhaltsstoff von dem Produkt Protandim hat sehr vorteilhafte Eigenschaften. Aber die Kombination von den 5 Kräutern zusammen hat dazu geführt, dass es 18-mal stärker ist und eben im Körper dieses NRF2 anregt, dass der Körper selbst Antioxidantien herstellt und im Endeffekt einen Selbstheilungsmechanismus anregt im Körper. That was my German, and I'm giving back to Gary. Did you understand everything?
Thank you for the cues. No, I understood when you said bacopa or green tea. I heard little bits and pieces of it, but that's why I just wait. I pause because I need to know when to hit the next slide. This is fun. So here's the thing, guys. It's everything that we're talking about is backed by research. From Sanjay Gupta's book, Chasing Life, The Quest for Immortality, to the PubMed studies that we talked about, the American Heart Association backing one of the studies. One thing that's really important to me, I mean, I've been a lifelong athlete. I've raced at the national level. I've raced at the professional level. And we need to know that the things that we're taking are legal for use in competition. And so both the NSF and the Banned Substance Control Group have certified Protandim for use in elite athletes, professional athletes, Olympic athletes. So that was something that was really exciting to me. And then definitely the most important thing of all of it is the fact that our formulator, Dr. Joe McCord, he's the scientist behind Protandim. He's the recipient of the Elliott Crescent Medal. And what that means is this is a medal that's given to people who make a difference in the world of science or medicine to the point where it accelerates technology. It's great for all mankind. So other recipients have been Henry Ford, the Wright brothers, Madame Curie. I mean, people that have literally made a massive, massive difference on society. And Dr. McCord received this prestigious award for finding the enzymes in our body that get rid of the free radical damage, that eliminate the free radical damage or the oxidative stress from our bodies. He found those enzymes. So when they when they take your blood and test it for the levels of oxidative stress, they measure those enzyme levels in McCord units, named after Dr. Joe McCord. Analena, did you want to elaborate on that? Because I know that was a really big part for you. Did you want to elaborate on that part about Dr. McCord for the in German? I know that we didn't talk about that ahead of time, but that was something you said was really important to you.
Yeah, well, I'm talking, let me talk in English here. No, for me personally, that's a very important fact that this product really is supported by science. I think that's super important. And one thing that I wanted to add is actually, you know, when the product Protandim actually helps the body create the antioxidant itself, opposed to taking all these supplements, because we have nowadays so many supplements on the market and we may take way too much, and it all has to go through our liver. So we actually may do some damage to our body. We really don't know. But by taking Protandim, it's all natural. And I think the body is so smart that it will know itself how much it will create in your unique body, because we're all different, to really turn on this mechanism in our bodies. That's why I'm a really big fan of it, because there are too many supplements out there, and I think they may actually cause sometimes more harm than good, because there's too much and we may take too many things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, there's a book out there, The Antioxidant Myth, and it talks specifically about that. The myth that antioxidants alone are the answer, and the external supplementation with them, either A, you have to get to a very high level that's toxic, or B, you're taking things that are being excreted by the body. The body just can't even utilize it, so it just passes on what it can't utilize. So great point. Here's the research to back it up. Remember I told you I'd show you a quick slide that showed you the 23 peer-reviewed studies. Again, those are on pubmed.gov. It's easy. It's something that the public all over the world can access. Study number 4 really stands out to me, because as I was sharing my story at the beginning of the slide presentation, one thing I didn't tell you is I lost my mom and dad both to cancer. In fact, that's why I left the field of physical therapy and went into pharmaceuticals. I moved back home after my dad died to take care of my mom. And I was at an appointment with her in Orlando at her oncologist's office when I met an individual, and he was an oncology pharmaceutical rep, oncological pharmaceutical rep. And that's what launched my career into that. So what relevance does that have with study number 4? Well, I lost my mom at 59 years old to cancer, my dad at 62. And I firmly believe if they were alive today and they would have had the access to a product like this, that they would have lived longer, because the data shows that they would. This is a federally funded study done by the National Institute on Aging, proving that Protandim, a natural activator for the body, extends the life of a mammal by 7%. So if you haven't read that study, I would encourage you to do so. And then ask yourself, if you had the exclusive rights and patents to something like this, how big is it really going to be when people find out that instead of taking handfuls of antioxidants, they can help their body make more of these beneficial enzymes anyway. So here's the summary. I mean, just to kind of pull it all together, Protandim's unique, it's consumable. We are the category creators. There may be other NRF2 activators coming down the pipe. That's fine. We expect that to happen. It'll raise the noise level. Protandim was first. We are the nutrigenomics and pioneer leader. We do have a complete approach to anti-aging, wellness, and performance. We have other products in our lineup here in the United States. The reason we're focused on Protandim, this is our flagship product. This is what sets us apart. This is the product with all the data. And this is the product that we're launching our foreign markets with. So this is what we've chosen to focus on this evening. There may be other products down the line that are going to launch in Germany, and we'll cover those as we hear more about them. But the great thing about Protandim, it's backed by science, and there are multiple exclusive patents. We have, in the United States alone, 6 patents, another 3 international patents on this product, meaning we have the exclusive rights to the distribution and the patents to ensure that nobody copies what we've done. So I'm going to share a brief video here. This is that ABC investigative news report. It's only 5 minutes long. It'll give you an idea of exactly why we're so excited about this. And then as soon as it's over, I'll go ahead and get back on the line here with Analena.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig. Dr. McCord, okay. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist. This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
Yeah, there we go.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company. They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment.
Doesn't taste bad.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes. So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes.
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
Dr. James Crapo with the National Jewish Medical Center in Denver is also researching Protandim for the company. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would. I can't guarantee it's going to extend your life, I can't guarantee it's going to eliminate any diseases or cure any diseases.
But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
All right. Wow. Every time I see that, I still get excited. I get fired up about it. So as you can see there, that's ABC Primetime Investigative News showing on national television the science that Dr. McCord took John Quinones's blood, tested it, gave him our product for 2 weeks, tested it again in 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks later, and his oxidative stress levels were reduced by 45%. So you can imagine that ignited a firestorm of activity for our company. The stock went through the roof. Yes, we are a publicly traded company. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the stock went through the roof as a result of it. So when I saw that, and I saw that initial clinical study on Protandim, not all the 23, that we didn't have all 23, just the first study, I realized that I was going to be on this product for the rest of my life. I realized that my wife would be on it, my father-in-law, his wife, my brother, his wife, my mom's best friend, my aunt in Orlando. These are all just a handful of people that were going to take this product. Like, not ask them, hey, you should take a look at this. I knew based on the science and the research that they needed this. Everybody I loved and cared about, I wanted to get this product in their hands. What the gentleman who introduced this to me didn't know, though, was I was working harder towards less financial freedom. I told you I was a physical therapist, a physio, then went into pharmaceutical sales. And when I did that, they gave me a larger territory every year. It seemed like the territory got bigger. They would lay off reps to the point where they laid off about two-thirds of my colleagues lost their jobs in a 4-year period when the economy started going south. I got to the point where I'm making less money, working harder in a larger territory, seeing the family less, and just not being fulfilled in that sick care industry, right? Where I hated sitting by the phone every 6 months just to see if I still had a job or not. And I knew there had to be something else out there. I wanted to have more time freedom. I wanted to be a dad. Remember, I told you my mom and dad both passed away so early. My mom, all she did was work. I was raised by a single mom working retail all the time. And I thought there has to be a better way. But what I realized was nothing would change unless I made that change myself. And so that change took place in March of 2011 when I decided to say yes to this opportunity after saying no to 28 other companies. I didn't want to be a part of the network marketing profession. I didn't think so until I learned more about it and realized the only way to get this amazing product was through the network marketing business model. And so I'm so glad I made that jump into this market. So I'm going to share this pretty quickly. This is going to be like a timeline of the average person's life, right? The life that they teach us in school, the life that many of our parents did, the life that many of us are on. I was on this plan, the top plan, for the first 40 years of my life, right? And that's that you're going to spend 20 years learning. You're going to go to school. You're going to get experience after you're born, of course. The next 40, 50, maybe even 60 years for some people is going to be spent working to hopefully retire one day, to hopefully save up enough money, to hopefully be able to really live, right? But you're working a job. Maybe you own your own business. Maybe something happened to you and you're disabled and you can't do either one. So that if you do find a great job and if you are able to save money and if that money is able to appreciate or accumulate over time, in 15 to 20 years, or for the last 15, maybe 20 years, you'll be able to retire. And I know there may be people on the line that are in this position right now. And the key with that, and Analena is going to talk just a little bit about that in the German trends, but the key to that is we know that retirement's not enough. Here in the United States, there are many people that are at an age where working when they shouldn't be, A, and B, maybe they're still working. Maybe they are retired at 65 or 70 years old, but the retirement is limited. It's very limited, and you're leaving your family with potential debt and medical bills. the results are pretty staggering, right? That's the plan that most of us are sold in school. This is what we are taught is the way to financial freedom. And really, it's not complete freedom because it's fixed. Everything is fixed. And it relies on a lot of factors. Well, what if we look at this timeline instead? The first 20 years is going to be the same, but what if instead for 5 to 10 years we learn and we earn at the same time? We learn a new skill, learn a new profession. We build a business, and the key is if we put some effort into it, I put hustle on there, maybe it's a strong work ethic, whatever wording you want to use, but if we put a solid effort into it for 5 to 10 years instead of 40 to 50, what if we could build that same type of income, but it's a residual income stream? So instead of just making $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 a month in retirement, what if we made $4,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 a month coming in on a residual basis? We get paid while we learn this new skill, while we build this new business, and for the final 50 to 60 years, actually be able to live and love our life completely, to have that growing income, leave a financial legacy for our family, leave our family with an income stream. See this, and again, I just want to clarify, you might be 18 and on this webinar, you might be 65 or 70. So you may already be retired, but why not generate a residual income stream even if you are retired at this point? Everybody should have one. And we can go into the reasons of that on a different webinar. But this point right here, I learned about it at the 40-year mark, right? Not at the 20-year mark. Obviously, the sooner you get involved, the longer you have for it to grow and for it to capitalize on it. So I'm going to flip it back to Analena at this point. She's going to talk a little bit about, the timeline is the German timeline. This is, sorry, Analena, I'll get to you in just a second. This is the timeline of LifeVantage. We're founded in 2003 as a publicly traded company. 2004 was when Protandim was founded. And you can get an idea there of how we've grown over the years, from our first publications to the ABC primetime being released, to the patents being garnered, to being in retail for 3 years, from 2006 to 2009 in GNC, and how we made the move from retail into network marketing or person-to-person distribution in May of 2009. And since then have grown to over $200 million a year in revenue. So it's a major publicly traded corporation. We'll get into more of the details as we go along, but wanted you to have that. You could always, if you're watching this on a replay, pause it there and read through that timeline of LifeVantage. Some of the highlights of the company, again, publicly traded on NASDAQ. We're traded right alongside Google, Apple, Microsoft, major Coca-Cola, major corporations on NASDAQ. We did grow, like I said, from 0 to $200 million in 4 years. That's from 2009 to 2012. In just 4 short years, $200 million in revenue, annual revenue. So we have this strong foundation with massive growth potential. We have tremendous management team that I'm going to highlight in just a moment. And we've partnered with Real Salt Lake. It's a Major League Soccer team here in the United States. Football, as it's called in the rest of the world, football is the world's largest sport. I mean, my son and I were just watching a recording of Dortmund and Bayern Munich on the TV. I think, unfortunately, Dortmund won. My son's a Bayern Munich fan, but
I'm a Dortmund fan, so it works out well.
So I knew Analena. I knew that because she told me that the other day. I had to give a plug.
Yeah.
But how awesome is that? That's something that unites the world, right? This sport. And we sponsored a Major League Soccer team that has players that play on the World Cup, the United States World Cup team. So here's that leadership team that we're excited about. Darren Jensen, our president and CEO. And what I want you to realize as you're looking at these individuals have a tremendous wealth of knowledge when it comes to science, and when it comes to the network marketing arena, running a publicly traded network marketing company. Darren's opened multiple countries for other companies around the world in his roles until he became the CEO of our company. And since then, he's already opened 3 countries. Justin Rose, our chief sales officer, again, years of network marketing experience. Ryan Goodwin, just the brains behind the whole look of our remarketing efforts. So by that, I mean what or rebranding efforts, what our products look like, the feel of our website, our logo, everything. He's a mastermind. The apps that we use and the electronics that we're using, all the mastermind behind that. Somebody that in Germany you'll be dealing with on a daily basis would be Dr. Peter Vertigem. He's our Vice President of International, specifically over the European markets. He's a German citizen himself. He's helped the largest network marketing company in the world get to where they are. And he left that company to come partner with us because he said that the science is so powerful behind what we have. They have products that are household products that could be used anytime. But he said specifically with him being a physician, the background a doctorate, the background that he has, the science here is what brought him over to our company. He said, if they can do that with household products, imagine where you're going to be at LifeVantage, where we're going to be when he made the decision to join us. He went from saying they to we, where we're going to be with a technological, literally advancement that's going to change the way people look at supplementation. They're going to say it's activation now instead of supplementation. So you'll deal with Peter a lot, Dr. Vertigem. You've got Cortland Pearson there. He's the senior VP over All International. Dr. Chevreau, she's amazing. She's from France, from Bordeaux. She's the mastermind behind our True Science skincare line and some of the other products that we've been launching, as well as the ongoing efforts to study other pathways in the body. There's an NRF1 pathway that we didn't even go into today. Dave Fleming, he's the field development leader that's helping us in the field get better at what we do so we can get this message out and thus the product out to more people all over the world. So with that, I'm going to flip it back over to Analena. I think she's going to talk a little bit about this in English and then also in German. So Analena, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, but I really think the executive team is really amazing. I agree on that. So the German market, or let's do it in German since everybody can read the English. Der deutsche Markt. Die Technologie hat viele Jobs ersetzt und der Trend scheint sich auch fortzusetzen. Hinzu kommt, dass wir ansteigende Armut haben in Deutschland, obwohl wir eine wachsende Wirtschaft haben. Aufgrund von zum einen hoher Arbeitslosigkeit und zum anderen haben wir eine alternde Gesellschaft. Das heißt, wir haben mehr Leute, die sehr alt werden, die in Ruhestand gehen und weniger Kinder, die geboren werden, weil die Geburtenraten nicht mehr so hoch sind. Dann ist es Tatsache, dass die Rentenleistungen kontinuierlich abnehmen und sie sind zudem sehr ungewiss, gerade für die jüngeren Generationen, weil wie die Rente in 20, 30 Jahren von heute aussieht, ist sehr ungewiss. Dann kommt hinzu, dass Deutschland der weltweit viertgrößte Markt im Direktvertrieb ist. Das heißt, Direktvertrieb heißt, dass die Produkte direkt an die Konsumenten vermarktet werden, im Vergleich zu, wenn es durch die Läden verkauft wird zum Beispiel. Und das ist wirklich, das zeigt, was für ein Potenzial Deutschland hat, wenn es zu dem Produkt Protandim und LifeVantage kommt, weil die Produkte eben im Direktvertrieb vertrieben werden. Und zum Letzten wollten wir noch darauf hinweisen, dass auch gerade in Deutschland, wie auch weltweit, es gibt im Moment einen steigenden Bedarf und Interesse an gesundheitsvorbeugenden Maßnahmen, Fitness und Wellness sowie natürlichen Produkten. Und daher passt das Produkt Protandim perfekt in den deutschen Markt und hat ein riesiges Potenzial. Okay, Gary, I just spoke about the German market and what huge of a potential Protandim is going to have in Germany, because it's the fourth largest market in the world when it comes to direct sales. And there's such an increase for natural health and wellness products. And poverty is on the rise, retirement benefits are not great. I mean, my dad just retired. He just retired. And it's a huge difference from where he was when he was working before. But people like me, they're in their mid-30s, they might not even know how much retirement or if any they will have by the time they do retire. So this is a really, really great opportunity for anybody that has a really business sense and understands what potential this has. And also, of course, it helps if you really have a passion for health and wellness and natural products.
Awesome. Awesome. Makes complete sense to me. And then do you want me to hit any of this, or you want to go ahead and go through the timeline? I think that was what you were going to highlight as well.
I'll do that in German as well for those folks that only speak German here.
Perfect. Thank you.
So am Freitag, dem 18. und dem 25. August gibt es 2 Webinars, die komplett auf Deutsch gehalten werden von Dr. What's his name again? Sorry?
Dr. Peter Vertigem.
Yeah, Vertigem. I didn't want to mispronounce his last name. Und die finden um 8:30 abends, 8:30, 18:30 Uhr, also 6:30 deutscher Zeit statt. Im August finden dann Geschäftspräsentationen, also Businesspräsentationen statt. Am 16. August Frankfurt, 17. August in München, 23. August in Hamburg und 24. August in Berlin. Und diese Präsentationen sind wirklich für die Leute da, die als allererstes mit involviert sein möchten und die wirklich daran interessiert sind, auch in dem Geschäftsmodell das Produkt weiter zu vermarkten. Und die weiteren Details werden noch bekannt gegeben. Allerdings ist es bei Invitation Only, das heißt, alle die daran interessiert sind, an den Präsentationen teilzunehmen, müssen mir da gerne Bescheid geben und dann können wir euch anmelden und dann bekommt ihr eine E-Mail von LifeVantage direkt mit den ganzen Details für die Events. Dann am 1. September ist der Pre-Launch, wo wirklich die ersten Produkte bestellt werden können und man sich entweder als Preferred Customer anmelden kann oder eben als Distributor, um das Produkt wirklich vermarkten zu können. Dann im Oktober, Anfang Oktober ist eine Leaders Academy in Amsterdam geplant und der ganze Launchplan, also die Einführung in den deutschen Markt, kommt auch mit einigen Anreizen für diejenigen, die daran interessiert sind, das Produkt zu vermarkten. Okay, I think I just briefly talked about everything that's here in English. And do you want to add anything about the incentives, these kind of things? We don't have the details yet. We will announce it as they are being released, right?
Yes, that's correct. What I do know is the Leaders Academy, think of that as like a training academy for the initial leaders in Europe. That will include folks from the UK, from the Netherlands, from Germany, the markets that at that time will be open, as well as potentially leaders from other countries that are coming in to take a look at what we have with LifeVantage, knowing that it's going to start spreading throughout Europe over the next few years. The launch plan specifically, that founders incentives, it's something unique because we're not open yet in Germany. So whoever are the first individuals to get started in Germany, they're going to be given special incentives. I don't know what they are. I know in the United States, for instance, there were stock options that were given for the stock. There were extra cash incentives. There was potentially like trip incentives, just things to be first. You get recognized. There may even be awards that are given and or specific pins that are given, things to delineate those leaders as the very first pioneers that helped get the country launched to begin with.
Yeah, and then I also mentioned that they have to, whoever informed about the product, the distributor, they have to contact if they want to participate in one of these events, right? Because we have to submit the form and then corporate will send them an email with the details for the event in Frankfurt, Munich, Hamburg, or Berlin.
That's correct. They'll actually get an invite, a personal invite from Dr. Vertigem himself. So we just need to know, for those of you that are watching, if you're interested in attending one of these business presentations, which we highly, highly recommend, just let the person know who shared this video with you, who shared this webinar with you, and we'll be able to go ahead and pre-register the guests through that website. So we will pre-register you, and then Dr. Vertigem will send you a personal invitation to one of those 4 events. So I'm going to go ahead and close it out quickly with, we have a very simple system. A lot of people want to know, how do you do it? I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because you'll get those details down the road, but I want you to understand that partnering with LifeVantage means that you're going to be taught the system. Essentially, it's very simple duplicating system so that everybody can share in the knowledge here and can share in the growth of the business. We literally teach you how to do it step by step. Many of us, myself included, have never done this profession before. I've never been involved with a direct sales, network marketing, multi-level marketing company. And how were folks like myself and others able to hit the top ranks in the company? And it's simple. We followed the system that was outlined before us. We do have monthly training, meetings, regional trainings, weekly training calls, on-the-job training, you name it. You have a team that's here to support you. We're going to be making trips back and forth, quote unquote, across the pond to help launch that German market. So you'll have a team there on the ground to help you get this business growing. Also, we're using technology. I mean, we're using it right now with Zoom, with this webinar. We have it on our phones. We have apps on our phones that make it very easy to share this information. There's the suite of apps on my phone. And as you can see, I have all the different LifeVantage apps in one folder so that you can register a new customer right there with the click of a link. You send them a shopping cart and they complete the checkout process. That's revolutionary. It makes it so easy for people to go ahead and get started on our wonderful products. Also, you're able to send the link for people to get started as a business partner or as a distributor as well. So it's very, it's a simplistic system that we've put together. The thing that we end on is the timing, because you really only have one opportunity to be first. There's huge global expansion. We have new countries opening right now every 3 to 6 months on average with LifeVantage. And we know this from studies that have been done in this profession. The first 125,000 distributors in a reputable network marketing company, one that's made it through those first 3 to 5 years of pioneering, those first 125,000 people make 80% of the commissions over the lifetime of the company. It's just the people who are first, just like in real estate, it's location, location, location. In business, it's timing. It's about having great products, a great company, great people, but also being first so you can share that with the world, positioning yourself ahead of a trend so you can capitalize on the growth of that trend. We only have about 75,000 people worldwide. We still have massive growth. When we're a multi-billion-dollar company, we'll have millions of distributors. They're all going to have to come from somewhere. We know that Germany is going to play a huge role in that. And we do have these incentives that we were talking about, these founders incentives that are going to speed up the enrollment process. So, I love this. Analena put this slide together. I'm going to say my part, and then I'm going to let her close the meeting because there's a decision that'll need to be made. You don't have to make a decision today to join us right away, but make the decision to do your homework, to get to one of these meetings, to learn more. And then on September 1st, if it's right, to partner with us, because you can only be first once. After September 1st, there'll be not a lot, but there'll be several distributors in Germany. You won't be the only one if you come in January or in late August of next year, like we are right now. A year from now, there will be hundreds, if not thousands, of distributors already in Germany. You have the opportunity to be the first one and to share this with others so that they can find out about it faster as well. So I'll turn it over to you, Analena, and I'll let you close it out.
Ja, thank you, Gary. Ja, was ist Ihre Entscheidung? Man kann wirklich nur einmal der Erste sein in so einem Businessmodell, und Deutschland ist eben als nächstes dran. And going back to English, so this is an amazing product, and we invite you all to do your own research, see what you learn about the product, and also what NRF2 activation is. It's a very, very exciting science, and it makes a lot of sense. And you really have the chance to be part of it and to share it with your loved ones, with the world. And it really is a great opportunity maybe for yourself or somebody that you may know in Germany that may be interested to build up a residual income, like a Nebeneinkommen, and eventually a full-time income. Because if you get into something like this that early, you do have the potential to build it up to be your one and only income. Like Gary has done it. He that's what he lives from, and he's doing awesome. He's doing great. So like we say, you can only be first once. The decision is yours, and any questions you have, you can contact us. It's up to you. And anybody you know you want to share this with, we will send you the link of the recording and spread the word. Thank you all.
Excellent. Thanks, Analena. Great job. Thanks for your help today. Good night, everybody.